Hi, my name is Ira Khan and you're watching my interview about mental health and Agatsu Foundation on Mirchi Plus.
Hi, this is Samina Shaikh here. Today I'm going to talk about a very important topic which we tend to forget in our day-to-day lives. It's about mental health, and I have someone who knows a lot about it, who's trying to help a lot of people cope up with it. Welcoming Ira Khan on Mirchi Plus.
Thank you.
Lovely to have you, Ira.
Thank you.
I'm very happy that this conversation is happening, because even now there is this fear a lot of people have where they don't want to discuss of what is happening in their mind, or what they are going through. So what made you come with this foundation, and what Agatsu stands for?
So Agatsu is a Japanese word. It comes from a martial art called Aikido. It has a saying called Masakatsu Agatsu. So true victory is self-victory. So Agatsu means self-victory. I have clinical depression, and so that's how I started the organization, because I was afraid that I wouldn't be understood and other people going through this would not be understood. And I became really afraid of the feeling of depression and just how I was feeling in that space. And then I became afraid of that feeling in anybody else. So I was afraid anybody else feeling that feeling also would scare me. And so that's where it started from. And then I was thinking about it and I realized that everybody, all human beings, experience the world through their minds. So actually, when you say mental health, you usually think about it as good mental health or bad mental health, but actually just the words, like physical health is not whether you have good physical health or bad physical health, it's just the state of your physical body. And mental health is just the state of your mind. And everyone goes through distress at different times in their lives, and if you don't take care of your distress, it can lead to a disorder. So I started with mental health, and then essentially I realized it's life. I'm working in life.
So basically what I'm trying to explain is that right now, if I try to express a lot of things, someone may up there may not like it. Say for example, if I'm saying a certain bad chapter I may have gone through, or something I may not want to may want to express, but there might be someone around me when I'm saying that, in the society around me, trying to control me to say a certain chapter. Do you somewhere feel that that's why the leaning of expressing your mental health is not there as much?
I think that the reason why people don't talk about their mental health is quite complicated, because one, there is judgment and stigma from the people, from society and the people around you in terms of what they may think or feel. But it's also you judging yourself, because it takes some time for you to come to terms with the fact that you're struggling with something, because we all have this need to be strong and self-reliant and not show weakness. And we all, whether we like to admit it or not, think of pain as weakness, or not being able to deal with pain as weakness. And so I think that if you want to express yourself and talk about what you're going through, there are places that you can do that in a safe space, and so then you should find those places and go there and talk to them. They're free as well. And apart from that, I think sometimes people want to push other people to say what's going on, but sometimes people need to take their own time to come out and say what they want to say. So I think it's individual for each person.
Do you also feel that it's important that, for example, I'm just giving an example, it's just a rough example, that maybe I'm going through something, but back there I have a mother, who's listening to me and who's saying, okay, Tika, you may be needing a counseling session. So there is someone out there, like I can reach out to my mother, for that matter, if I have to go through a counseling session. Do you sometimes feel that, the parents also play a pivotal role for that matter, when you're going through something? Because sometimes parents don't hear, what you may be going through. There are a lot of people who don't get heard by their parents because they want a certain pattern only in their kids, for that matter. Do you sometimes feel that plays a very good role?
I think everybody in your life plays a huge role, and obviously everybody is most affected by what their parents think and feel about them. That's just the most intense relationship every human being has, is with their child or with their parent. And so definitely your parents and your support system play a huge role. And it's and I think it's important to see both sides of it, because as an important meaning, it's helpful to see both sides of it. It's not easy for your parents to see you struggle, and so a lot of times they may be dismissing you or not hearing you because it hurts them too much to hear you. Now this doesn't mean it's okay for them to not support you, but it might be more useful for you to find, if you're in immediate crisis, you should find support wherever you're getting support in a safe, healthy way, and then take time to talk to the people in your life who you want support from, explain to them what's going on and help them figure out how to help you. Because no matter how much people around you may love you, that doesn't mean that they automatically know how to take care of you. They may not know how to take care of you, and they may struggle with that. It'll be frustrating and making them feel helpless and hopeless as well. So it's really a community effort, and when things are a community effort, communication is key. So both sides need to put in a little effort. Obviously, if you're struggling, then you need other people to put in more effort, but I would be lying if I would say that you don't also have to try.
Talking about you, even you went through a phase, which was very dark for you. When you spoke to your parents about it, and when you came out and open, how did you personally feel when that chapter was slowly eradicating from your life?
I still have clinical depression, and I'm still on medication. So it's up and down. It's not gone yet.
And when it comes to coping up with it, how do you cope with it?
So I've been going for therapy for about 5 years now, and I'm slowly getting. I'm much better now, actually. I'm on medication. It took me 5 years to figure out what medication to be on, how it was working for me. First, I thought I had. First, we realized that I have depression. Then we realized I have cyclic depression, which means it's different for everybody. But my personal time frame is about 10 months ish. But now I don't know if the 10 months start after I recover from the last one or from the time I had the last one. So I'm still learning these things about myself. Okay. And so it takes time to figure out your treatment plan, your recovery path, and it goes up and down. And I think the biggest thing is that I have realized that I need to expand my support circle. I can't expect only 2-3 people to be there for me all the time for everything that I need. I need to have multiple people who I can reach out to at different times, so I'm not ever burdening any one person. And I know they don't see it as a burden, I know that. But realistically, we all have to live our lives and we have things to do. And so the more useful, helpful thing to do is to have many people who you can reach out to for different things. And building that communication with each of those people, building that relationship with each of those people, that is what I keep working on along with my journey in my recovery. That's a big part of it. Because we're all social beings, so it's not like I'm doing any of this on my own, right? I'm doing it with people, and so I need to talk to them and understand what they are understanding. Are they understanding it correctly? Are they going to be able to help me with my needs? It needs to be a conversation.
Were you afraid of getting judged, or were you constantly being judged also, by some people who may not even understand the term called mental health or the mental health disorders?
I was judging.
She keeps on crying and cribbing and all like that.
I was judging myself. I was the only person judging myself. No one else was judging me.
Okay. And now, do you, as you recover, as you come back to a normal phase also, and of course, you may have your own difficulties. Do you feel good also that I'm not the same person what I was, a few months ago?
So actually, my last depressive episode was in July, and that was by far my worst one. because I was so upset that I was still depressed, and that's when I realized that I'm a hypocrite and I go around fighting for everybody else's mental health, but I refuse to allow myself to have depression or accept that I have depression or think it's okay for me to have depression. I think my depression is fake and I'm a attention seeking brat, and this time I had to be like, okay, no. So actually this last couple of months, last year essentially, usually I take about 2 to 3 weeks to get out of bed, and then I can do one thing that helps me do the next thing, that helps me do the next thing. But this time I was in bed for months and I was completely hopeless and I was just waiting for my medication to kick in. And so, like I said, it goes up and then you relapse, and then it goes up and then you relapse, and it moves up and down, and every relapse makes you more tired. If you don't understand what's happening. So if I didn't realize that I have cyclic depression, I see each of these as a relapse. Whereas if I realize that I have cyclic depression, it's going to happen every 10 or so months. Now I know that it's coming and I manage it instead of thinking, oh, it's happened again. It's not happened again, it's the same thing.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So how I understand what is happening to me is going to change how I handle it and how I deal with it and how I look at it. So I don't keep seeing it as failure. I'm like, okay, this is the thing. It's going to keep happening, and I can get much better at dealing with it every time it happens. And so I am actually progressing, even though if I thought of it as multiple different episodes, then it looks like I'm not progressing. Also, don't take my word for the episode and the this and the that. I'm not a psychologist, so I'm just saying words that make sense to me. I have grown a lot as a human being, and now that I'm out of this one, and I have finally accepted my depression, and when I did, there was like a switch. It was just like something flipped, and because all of us know what is good for us. We know what we should be doing. We know we should work out, we know we should eat healthy, we know we should not stay up all night till 4 in the morning watching TV. We know these things, but we don't do them.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
And so all these years I have known what I'm supposed to do, but I never got myself to be able to do them. Since that switch happened in my mind, I have reached a place where I do at least one self-care thing every day, without trying also. So either I will come home and change out of my day clothes and change into a night suit and go to bed. That is also self-care. I will heat my food in the microwave. I will not eat cold fridge food. That's also self-care. So I will do at least one thing on a bad day also to take care of myself. And on most days I do multiple. So I think I have progress. Yeah.
But also, Ira, as we talk about progress and all, do you also feel that now, we see a lot of films, even in Bollywood for that matter, being made on mental health, and being, medium, in a way, through movies, people are also feeling comfortable. Many a times, if you see, sometimes I feel like I tell my own mother for that matter, that if you're not feeling good about yourself, if you're feeling heavy, or if you're feeling, lost because, I don't have a father and all. So, if you're feeling lost in that world, go to a therapist. But she feels like, even now she feels that, why to a therapist? Am I do you feel that I'm mad or what? Am I mental or what, I'm being very frank to you like that, Do you sometimes feel that maybe there are some projects which have come out, like Dear Zindagi for that matter, or some films, which also kind of raises awareness about, mental health, and do you feel that, maybe that could also be medium, talking about such, such causes,
I think stories are a great way to raise awareness. I don't watch a lot of stuff because I have a TV watching problem, so I don't watch things, and when I watch things, I watch only purely happy things, because otherwise I dip. So I don't watch a lot of content, but I do know that stories are a great way to bring about awareness about lots of things from an emotional point of view rather than an intellectual point of view, and that is usually what helps communication. I just think it's very important to be sensitive about the things that you are communicating, because mental health is very complicated, it's very individualistic, and it's really not a good idea to make any generalizations. And so I think if it's handled sensitively and well, it can be really impactful, and I think it's great. So like there's a play called Every Brilliant Thing by QTP, and it is phenomenal. I was like, yes. And it's a play about mental health and suicide, and it's so beautifully done. It leaves you feeling hopeful, and hope is the biggest thing in life.
I'm pretty sure about that. Also, Ira, I want to ask this question to you personally. When are you getting back to your redhead?
Soon. So I have this one color that I use, and then I put it, and then as it fades, it still looks nice. Whatever shade happens of its fading now, it looks nice. So I let it fade, and then I go red again, and then I let it fade, and then I go red again.
Talking about this place looks quite beautiful, and it feels like safe home, to be honest. It feels like a safe home place where I've come, and the places which I saw and all. So tell me something about it, what exactly you prefer over here, the sessions which takes place over here and all that.
So it's a community center. It's open from Wednesday to Sunday, from 11 to about 9:30, 10 in the night. It's completely free. Anyone can come. We have a bunch of activities. A lot of them are weekly activities. Some of them happen twice a month. Most of them are weekly. We have a monthly open mic. We have a piano and a bunch of instruments, and we have peer supports, and we have something called mental health hour. So we have a lot of activities. Everything is for free, and anyone can come. You have to be 12 years and above, because we're not ready for children just yet. But we have people from ranging all the way up to 84, 90-year-old who come. We have senior hour, because we realized that a lot of senior citizens feel lonely, and they actually have so much love and energy to give. And so twice a week we have a little bit of a mobility physical thing for them to do. And then we have a social, cognitive and creative thing, because we realized that coming here slows down their cognitive degeneration, and actually we saw improvement. And so really the physical space is a big part of it. We have a library, we have lots of art supplies, we have instant coffee. It's not good coffee, I accept, but there's coffee, okay? There's tea and coffee. So yeah, it's really a space where you can come, you can study, you can hang out. We have a cat. And our therapy clinic is starting in 2 weeks. That is, it has a sliding scale. So you pay 750 rupees to 50 rupees, whatever you can afford. And so we have a lot of things going on. And it's really about balancing out the different aspects of your life. So there's physical movement things, there's art things, there's dance things, there's music things, there's also explicitly actively working on your mental health things, and psychoeducating yourself. But the thing is, life is a mix of all those things, right? You have to also have fun, and you have to also sometimes just chill. So it's a mix of all of those things, and I think what really works is that people come together in a physical space and meet new people and are surrounded by people who are also sort of wanting to figure out what's going on. I just want to say, nobody comes here nobody comes specifically
for a
thing. People just come to do the activities. We don't ask anyone whether they have a mental health disorder or anything like that. We actually don't work with people who have a severe mental health disorder, because we don't have the specialists that is required for that. So we work on the other side of the spectrum of where you're okay, you're a little distressed, you have a mild disorder. That's the area that we focus on, because that's what we're equipped to handle. And we believe in a preventative approach towards mental health. So start becoming aware of yourself, who you are, what you like, how you behave, start exploring yourself, and start, if there is anything that you need to take care of, let's do it before you hit rock bottom, because why would you wait till things get really horrible to do something about it? If you notice it before, then just fix it before. It takes less time, less money, less effort. Everything is less once you catch it before and don't get there. And you can, live a happier life if you want, if you think you aren't already living one.
Lastly, how do you want the message to spread out when it comes to about the place you have right now, for mental health? How do you want to take it forward?
I want people to take their mental health sincerely. Don't take it seriously, take it sincerely. And I would love for you all to come to the center, try out our activities, come talk to us, and let's figure this out together.
I'm definitely coming for one of the sessions, as I told you,
yes,
for the neurology, I'm sure. But it was lovely chatting with you, and at the same time understanding the perspective. I'll get back to my work, but I think this conversation will stay with me because I'll also try and understand a lot of aspects of life for that matter. Thank you to have you, and all the very best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and I hope a lot of people get this message that what is important right now for them. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.